much. Good afternoon. I think I should join Pagamile for tendering an apology to the journalists this afternoon. This press conference was supposed to resume at 3. I must say that we have got a huge difficulty in our hands. Basically, we received an offer yesterday, which we were forced to take to our members before we can announce it. It's an offer of 9% for the first year, 8% for the second year. All other sticky issues, such as the night shift allowance, such as the dual driver, such as the insourcing, those matters are taken to a task team. And basically, we ensured that there is a wording that enables us as unions that are in this strike to be able to, in case we do not reach an agreement, we can embark on a legal action or take those matters to court. We had to go back to our members, for our members to give us a mandate about the future of the strike. And I must communicate that the difficulty we confronted with now is the difficulty of us being plunged by employers. In that traditionally in this sector, once there is a settlement, employers would agree to backdate such an increase from the 1st of April in this case. The backdate, which is a sticky issue now, is supposed to be on the 1st of April. Generally, we can say that workers are in agreement with the offer on the table. However, as things stand, workers in their majority are very resolute and very firm that they want the back pay to be paid on the 1st of April. We delayed this press conference. Today, we're supposed to announce an end of the strike. However, we are not in a position to do so. We have communicated to the employers to say, can they come to the party and basically come up with an agreement with us on the back pay for workers. And they have been debating among themselves this afternoon, which is why we delayed. From this press conference, we will be communicating with them, looking as to whether are they willing to move. And at the same time, we will also have thorough discussion with our members on this question, where in majority of the unions, I think we're receiving some different signals, some workers are of the view that maybe we should settle, but the majority of workers are saying, look, we want the back pay, which places us in a very difficult situation to just end the strike of workers without workers having considered. So we got a difficult task in our hand. That task is to push employers to pay the back pay over this, to agree to pay the back pay over this weekend. And secondly, we will also be engaging with our members to see whether they can be persuaded differently. As things stand, that's where things are. I'm not sure whether I'm leaving out anything.
No, you've covered all the things. Yeah.
Well, I think the issue about the back pay, we expect employers to pay is from the 1st of April this year. In other words, the settlement we're receiving, we're saying they must pay it from the 1st of April. Because traditionally, that's what has been a custom and practice in this sector and across all various sectors. And in our view, this attitude that has been endorsed by employers is provocative and, to be honest, completely not sensitive to our communities that are affected, let alone how it has got a serious creating of an anger to workers who are already losers to the extent that there's no work, no pay on the sacrifice that they are doing. And some people can take calculators, for instance, which is also another big challenge, to say if you, which is the current status position of employers in relation to this, is that if we were signing today, it would have meant that this increase will only be effective from today. And some people pick up their calculators, they say, you're saying you're giving us 9%, But that's not really a 9% if you're looking at if employers are not back paying, which create all sorts of problems for this particular settlement. So that's that's why there's a sticky issue in relation to the backdating. What is the next option? Well, we're saying the next option is for employers to stop being greedy, just to accept that they must give workers this back pay amount of money. It's not. We're talking about 17 days. You want to plunge the whole industry. Well, it's only 17 days that we're talking about. And to be honest, not all workers will necessarily benefit out of this, which is why we're saying we're going to have a very serious debate with employers to come on board, that this is just cheeky, this is just silly, this is like a kind of a bashing attitude towards workers. And if we need stability in the industry, this kind of an attitude, it is completely unnecessary and it is not needed. I think you raised an issue around other outstanding issues. Well, let's take the issue about the night shift. The night shift is a big issue for us. And we have done everything to persuade employers. First, these employers' stance is about contracting out of BCA, which basically grant workers the right to be paid a night shift allowance when they work in the evenings. And they're refusing to do that. And they would have been in the past argue that one or two unions would have signed and contracted out. But as things stand, as you see, I think one of the things that we are celebrating is the fact that all unions in this sector, NUMSA, SATAU, and all unions that are here, we stood together in the interest of saying enough is enough. Workers in the bus sector deserve to be paid a night shift allowance. And that's why we said it must be in the agreement and we will never pull back. You would be shocked with the kind of irritation that employers were telling us yesterday. They were telling us this is very expensive. In fact, it's about 12%. And in fact, per annum, this will cost about 22 million. Meaning that there's 22 million of our members, money that is due to them that they deserve to have, which employers are holding back. Which is why we're taking it to a task team. We will be going back to the Department of Labor to say there's no longer an agreement now that exists. This is an issue of enforcement. A dual driver, if you're driving from Johannesburg to Cape Town, you are a driver, you left your family, you deserve to be paid. Immediately you are in the bus. And these employers, in fact, some of them said, this is not our problem. Some employers are paying their bus driver immediately they get into the bus. But there are those who say, listen, we will not pay. As long as you are in that bus, you are not having your foot on the pedal, we will not pay. And that's what we reject. And we think if we have a government that was also decisive, that was serious about road safety and well-being of workers and communities, this is an issue that government as well must intervene. And part of what we think we will do collectively as union will also to have a discussion about the future of this industry on how these issues that government itself need to intervene to ensure that we don't just have unnecessary strike that are plunging communities as our communities have suffered in the recent past.
Any other questions?
Zolilwela Izwela Zolilwela Izwela Zolilwela bo Izwela Izwela me Izwela me Izwela me